Alright, welcome back to Undertale, released in 2015 and developed almost entirely by Toby Fox. Where we last left off, we went out of the trash zone and arrived in Waterfall town. The first thing I do is call Papyrus, something I don't often do and wish I actually haven't done in this playthrough at all. For good reason, because otherwise it will last twice as long, baby. Either way, this is actually a very helpful call because he tells us where Undyne's house is. And we're actually going to go there, but not in this episode. Most likely in the next one. In fact, definitely in the next one. But before I go check that out, I'm gonna go in this area there. See, here's the little bird from last episode. Now this is one of the most fucking hardcore non sequiturs in the game. Pretty much all it's here to do is carry you across this gap, leading you back to the place where the Ice Cream Man was. But the thing is that this trip takes roughly 30 seconds. There was a song composed specifically for this scene. Seriously, and it's got that exact name. Out of the way, I just went there to show what it does. Because I don't have any reason to come back here. Actually, I'm gonna do a little turn so I can see this little cute monster right there. One of my friends calls it the droplet monster, which I guess works, but I don't know. Either way, we're gonna go back. And we're gonna have to wait for 25 fucking seconds. While I'm at it, it's been an odyssey trying to get this footage to work. The footage you're seeing right now. Honestly, I'm even surprised I managed to get it to work in Sony Vegas. There's been a problem, but it's too long of a story to tell it to you right now. So I'll just remember that for later. We're gonna have time to talk about it, I suppose. Here's another dummy, and here is Undyne's house. Well, behind the... yeah, there you go. But since she's busy hunting you right now, she isn't there. For some reason, I checked the tail just to make sure there was anything to check. And we're off to the rest of Waterfall town. It's much smaller than Snowden. And there's a lot of less interesting stuff to see, except that's where Napster lives. And man, oh man, this entire house is magical, fucking incredible. Every single space of it has so much life put into it. Oh yeah, Napster likes watching a specific show. We're going to see which show later on. Also, Napster is a fucking pirate. Actually, that kind of explains the name. Napster Bloke, Napster Bloke. See? Either way, another callback to the spider bake sale. Again, small world. It's deepest lore. Oh, and here's another cool thing, the fucking songs. For some reason I spent like 30 seconds just walking around. Oh yeah, I was trying to replicate the whole seizure thing. I think it's if you press up and down simultaneously. The thing you saw in the in my first return video. My return to Snowden Forest, either way. Either way, that song is shit. The better one is Spookwave, obviously. Unfortunately, I didn't get to... I didn't think about talking to Napster while this played, but they say something like, damn, that ambience, it's like my whole body is being spooked. I got a screenshot of it too. Oh, and here's Goloday. It's a song. Either way, what am I doing? Yeah, now I check the fridge. What was I saying? Oh yeah. Waterfall is a lot smaller than Snowden Town, like much smaller, and there's a lot less stuff to see. So, really, the state of the towns get less and less interesting the further you go into the game, which is especially notable because there are just 3 towns, 3 big towns either way, with one dungeon associated with each. So it was Snowden, Snowden Forest, there was Waterfall, and there's going to be the 3rd one in the either next episode or the episode after that. Oh, and here you get the option to lie down on the ground and feel like garbage, which is actually a lot cooler than it sounds. You're going to see in just a moment. Just takes a bit for it to kick in. Yeah, there it goes. I'm gonna go on mute for a moment just so you can see. yeah, it kind of comes out of nowhere, but it's pretty cool. That's why I decided to make it stay for roughly a minute. But I'm going to go back out and back in because leaving the house with Spookwave on brings up one of the, really honestly, a pretty esoteric Easter egg. See? Honestly, I figured this one out. I accidentally came upon that one on my first playthrough just because I thought Spookwave was just that cool. I would leave the house with it playing. But honestly, I'm not sure how someone would pick up on that one. You'd really need to sift through the corners. That's kind of a dumb way to put it, but I think you know what I mean. Yeah, but I'm doing this again because of something relating to the credits. You're gonna see, it's gonna make sense when you see it, don't worry. A lot of things are gonna make sense. So now that this is done, there is one of only two things to check, and that's the snail farm. There is honestly not much to say about this one. It's just a farm of snails, and the Blook family is taking care of it. Oh yeah, did I mention? Oh shit, I forgot to mention the house next to Napster Blooks. We could actually go inside of there, but we're only going to be able to get the key in, when are we going to be able to get the key? Not next episode, maybe not the episode after that. Either the episode after that or the episode after that. So episode 7 or 8. We're gonna see, I'm gonna see that when I get there. Anyway, there's all that snail dialogue, haha, fucking hilarious, but there isn't anything really interesting here. Though, Napster did mention something interesting about how they lost their only customer some time ago and now only a hairy guy goes there. That's gonna make sense too, but again, we're gonna have to wait to get a good explanation. Oh, now here's Thunder Snail. That fucking game is hilarious. Basically, so Napster already explained the rules. All you gotta do is encourage this snail up there so it can speed up and supposedly win the race. The thing is, there are 3 different outcomes to this race. The first of them is, no, actually 4 outcomes. On one of them, you simply don't encourage the snail enough so it doesn't reach the finish line. And the second one, you encourage it enough for it to pick up enough speed to win the race, which is going to be this situation here. On the a third outcome, however, is you cheer it so much it crawls back into its shell and sets on fire. You gotta see it to believe it. Also, you only win 9 gold if you win the race. Now, there's a 4th outcome. Apparently, I didn't see it with my own eyes. So for all intents and purposes, it might be bullshit. I tried to do it actually on this video, but I simply didn't manage to. This 4th outcome is if the snail finishes like really close, like if the snail you encourage finishes like maybe an inch before the actual winner, I think Napster gives you 30 gold because they don't want to hurt the snail's feelings. It's probably true, but again, I can't say for sure. Also, I make a stop by this store because the two pieces of equipment I get there are actually going to be really useful because they make you invincible for much longer, which is actually going to be very important in the next boss fight, just to make sure I don't die. Oh, also, here's another shop. This guy is fucking cool. He's honestly the fucking coolest shopkeep, honestly. Well, then again, the next one we're going to see, no, not the next one this episode, the one after that, is roughly as cool. Anyways, he gives some more important exposition here. I think he's going to talk about the, I think very soon, yeah, the emblem. The emblem right next to him, on the left of him, if you can't see it. It honestly took me, I only managed to see that it was in the background on this playthrough. It's really not easy to find. It's really not easy to see, rather. Ah, here you go, the prophecy. This is important. It's going to play some role. It's going to have some bearing on the story itself. Actually, that may... Actually, speaking of that... Oh, just from... from... A Slayer CD made its way down into the underground and nothing was the same. Blah blah. I wanted to make that joke a long time ago. Anyways, I better pay attention to what he says. He actually, I think he's gonna say something important, or at least something that comes back later on in this story. Oh yeah, he's talking about the king. Well, he doesn't say anything too important, just that King Dreamer's a cool guy. Oh, he actually, yeah, he doesn't remember why he calls King Dreamer Fluffy Buns, but he actually does. We're going to come back to him much later on in this playthrough, but we're going to get an actual answer. Oh, determination. That's a good word to explain it. Yeah, so he talks about Undyne. Says she just went by. Oh shit! I just put two and two together concerning something later on. I hope I'm gonna remember that actually. Yeah, so he can't sell shit to him either. Although he does clue you in on the place where you can sell stuff, but obviously he doesn't tell you where it is. In fact, I forgot for a moment. I knew from the very moment I got more pieces of equipment that I was going to go there to sell my shit. But visibly on this episode I realized I forgot where it exactly was. So a little part of this LP is going to be, this video rather, is going to be me trying to find where it is. So I go back here just to make sure because, you know, this fucking better safe than sorry. And I finally go on my way through the rest of Waterfall. And this begins with more text. See, what does it say? Yeah, it talks about the barrier. Anything can enter, but only beings with a powerful soul can leave. That's important. There's only one way to reverse this spell. And here's how the barrier can be broken. You need 7 human souls. That is essential information. But interestingly, you don't need to read this. Strictly speaking, you don't need to read. You didn't need to read that text to find out the whole thing about the souls, because it is still brought up by the characters in the game. In fact, it's pretty interesting. I thought some more about it, the way that Undertale brings up its lore, and I realized it's one of those situations where the story most likely came before the lore, which I guess is a breath of fresh air. Oh, here's Temmie. Well, honestly, I'm not sure how you can describe a monster this particular. Well, you know, I got a few words come to mind, like reasonable, redundant, Right, so all you gotta do is talk to Temmie. That thing is actually kind of terrifying. The more I look at it, the more it looks fucking terrifying. Yeah, so all you gotta do is talk to Temmie, but you can also flex and just check this out. It's amazing. Fucking poetry. Never gets old. Never. Well, honestly, I only saw this like 3 or 4 times. So yeah, Temmie drops out and Aaron's back in the fray. Thankfully you don't have to flex 3 times to get out of this one, so... Fortunately, this fight is short. Honestly, playing through Undertale is making me hate the fucking battles more and more. Not because the fights aren't good. I love the gameplay mechanic, but it's an unbearable pain in the ass to change the currently playing indicator when making videos like these. It's absolutely horrendous. By the way, oh, here's another. Man, even I fell for that one, and I played this game multiple times. So yeah, Yeah, it's mold small, right? It looks like mold small. It's actually smells like a bait shop. It's actually not mold small. Oh, and also on this third playthrough, it was only at that moment that I realized Toby left another fucking pun. So the monster on the left is mold small. The monster on the right here is mold big. Jesus. One size greater than mold average. Honestly, at this point, details like these make me wonder if they are details that you wouldn't necessarily get on your first playthrough, or if I'm just a fucking idiot. And it's probably a bit of both. Either way, all you gotta do is unhug Mold Big, and then Bob's your uncle, you're out. Yeah, spare. Just fucking spare. What am I doing? Oh yeah. Just checking the health because I don't want to die, you know. Otherwise my non-death run is void, you know, until I edit the fucking game files again. So this is one of the only 2 rooms that lead to the end of this entire area. Waterfall seriously is the longest part of this game. Probably. Yeah, most likely. So for a moment I thought the way to... I thought the way to Temmie Village was actually in this room, but it turned out to be incorrect. It was actually in the room before, but I don't find that out until like... How long does it take for me to realize that? Oh Jesus, it takes at least 2 minutes. Either way, this room is in much trouble. The lights keep dimming, but that's mainly the only thing. It's not really any trouble for me. Well, since we'll be here for a little moment, I might as well start talking about the problems I had recording, or rather editing this episode. See, the software I use to record footage for this series of videos, in fact to record anything these days now, is Open Broadcaster software. It's free software that allows you to record footage and stream. And let me tell you, it's fucking incredible. I love it. Before that, I used the Fraps and Morillas Action to record game footage, but I've honestly had a much easier time so far with Open Broadcaster software than these two, in terms of frame rate, the footage not fucking up. So it's great. And for the moment, for the first 4 episodes, including the extra, Sony Vegas, the footage I used to edit all this, had no problems using this footage from Open Broadcaster software. But the thing is, for episode 5, for some reason, it simply wouldn't accept it. Which, you know, confused me because I recorded in MP4 and it was the main type of codec I used with most of the video footage I used to make videos anyway. So I was kind of wondering what the fuck was the issue. Well, to get this footage working, I had to convert this fucker so many goddamn times. I went so far as so I could try to make it work. I went so far as to optimize the raw footage itself, upload it to YouTube in private, then download it again to see if it would work. Strictly speaking, it worked, but the audio was delayed and the footage looked like shit. So obviously I didn't really want to use that. But I didn't want to re-record everything either. In fact, I found out that re-recording everything wouldn't solve the issue, because I did a second recording of a few minutes just to see if it would work, and the footage wouldn't import either. I figured out through many attempts at converting the video to different codecs, including AVI and WMV, for me to figure out that it was a problem with the audio. So, to get this footage working, I had to convert the video into WMV. Keep that, obviously not convert the video itself and lose the original, obviously not. So that the video footage would work. And then convert it again in FLAC to get audio for it, and then run the two back to back. Because the audio for the WMV video file simply wouldn't work. And here we are. At least I'm just happy it worked. I went to rendering the footage for the commentary-less version of this episode, and I was really... And when I saw that the original render itself didn't work, I was honestly going to flip my shit. But thankfully, I optimized it using Handbrake, and it managed to work just fine. So that was a big weight off my back. But hopefully this issue doesn't reoccur when I go to record episode 6. I'm not sure what caused the issue in the first place. I think it was... it might have been because the audio I was recording in Open Broadcaster software was in MP3 instead of AAC. I'm going to try recording in AAC from now on and see if that fixes the problem. But hopefully I don't have to put up with this bullshit for episode 6 and on. Now, the reason why I decided simply not to talk about Temmie Village is because honestly this village defies explanation. Well, I'll try to avoid anything judgmental, but I think that Temmie's mental faculties are very different from that of humans. Also, it might also be interesting to note that Temmie is a character that was designed not just by Toby Fox. He had the help of someone. I don't know who, but it was someone. And I believe he also got help from someone when it comes to Aaron. So here we are in Tem Shop. Well, here we are entertained to some deep philosophical writing. History. Jesus. Either way, this is the shop we can actually sell shit in. And let me tell you, the weapons and items sell for a lot of stuff. Wait a minute. Oh, for a moment I was wondering if I sold the stick. Thankfully I didn't. I may be dumb, but I'm not stupid enough to do that. So here I will finally part with all of my useless weapons and armors, because that shit sells for an amazing price. So here I don't have... Yeah, so I'm just checking if I got everything. Yeah, so at this point we're going to start grinding our asses out. But thankfully this is going to give us a huge head start. Oh yeah, also because Tem is kind of a Tem. Occasionally this will happen at least once when you assuming you sell your entire shit. She's going to give you a special price. This can actually increase the value of you'll get by quite a bit. But the funny thing is, when you say no multiple times, you're gonna see. But yeah, those items sell for a lot. So this already gives us a... Here I'm just trying to see if she'll make the dialogue come back up, but I think it only happens once when you enter the store. So we already got an 800 G's head start. Oh, and while we're at it, this finally allows me to talk about the dog residue. I could have explained what it does before, but I was busy talking about how hard it was to edit this footage, which, yeah, my bad on that one. But basically, the dog residue fills up your entire inventory with either dog residue or dog salad. And dog salad basically heals a random amount of HP. It can either heal 2 HP, 20 HP, 14 HP. There are different values. So strictly speaking, you got infinite healing items. Which is why, honestly, the fact that you lost this fucking magical artifact and also the possibility to talk tutorial on the phone is actually a good trade-off. Because it's also going to allow us to grind money out the ass. Dog salad sells for 8G. So if you got, oh yeah, if you say no, suddenly Tem breaks the illusion, and yeah, it's funny. But yeah, dog salad sells for 8G. Dog residue sells for anywhere between 1 and 4G. You can also buy Tem flakes. The thing is, okay, Tem flakes sell for 2G, and Tem flakes sell, yeah, you can buy for 1. So you basically do yourself an 8G profit. Just a moment. Yeah. So it's very easy to grind money out the ass, but there is a good reason for that, because as you might have noticed, for 1000 G we can pay for Tem's college, which is somewhat worth it. But since I got the technique when it comes to rapidly buying and selling shit, I decided to do the liberty of grinding up to 1,500 gold. Because yeah, selling fucking buying Temmie's education is one thing, but there are some items, healing items, I want to buy and which are pretty expensive. So here I switched from the Temflix to the dog residue. And let me tell you, this footage isn't edited. I'm the fucking Bruce Lee of the keyboard. I actually had to slow the footage down so you could see the screens go by. I'm so fucking fast, my keyboard exploded once. This is actually my second take, it happened again, which sucks because it cost $100 and I can't exactly grind for that in real life. But yeah, there are some expensive items in the game that I want to buy, and thus I'm doing this grinding. Just take a look at that stride. We're only halfway through this speed up, there's more of this shit. Don't worry, the commentary-less version also has some jazzy music to occupy the senses because I don't think this is very entertaining on its own. In all seriousness, no, I'm seriously kind of pretty fast at the keyboard. I tried doing a keyboard typing test once. I did 99 words per minute without one single typo. I don't remember if it was in English or French. Probably in English, most likely. So here we're reaching the end of this grind. See, with dog residue, it's honestly pretty fast. You just gotta make sure not to fuck up. That's actually why I decided to keep a backup of the dog residue, because as far as I know, when you lose it forever. And considering how useful it is, I really don't want to lose it. So here we finally fucking pay for Temmie's college. So you know, she's pretty ecstatic, or you know, as ecstatic as she usually is. And yeah, it just goes silent and she leaves her face there. And now she's back. And again, much like Papyrus's date, it actually has some level of use, because it unlocks Temmie armor. We're not going to use it, but it unlocks Temmie armor, and I had the time to show it. So basically, it's armor, but it's so good that it would make challenges pretty much, it would remove any challenge from boss fights. So the more battles you lose, the more Temmie will lower the price. It's to the point that it can reach like fucking, I don't know, 1? I don't know what are the price increments, but it's a good way to see how many times you died. See, it costs, right there it costs 9,999 gold. That's pretty much because I didn't die once. So, that's a good way to make sure you didn't fuck up. See, here I'm going to go say no again because she says something different after she got her college education. Yeah, see? Yeah, a degree I fucking paid for. How about that? Yeah, so here I'm just selling more dog residue, and we're finally on our way. I'm just gonna get my fucking items again, and we'll finally go back on track to the continuation of this game after this huge fucking pit stop. That was one hell of a huge pit stop, actually. Jesus, at least there's a save point here. Alright, I think I just made a backup. Yeah, determination. Yeah, sure, of course. Oh god, we're gonna see me go all the way back there. Jesus, that's the last time I watched me playing the game. That's the last time I watched myself playing a game. I'm gonna make sure never to make this type of video again. Here we see another Temmie. Why did I decide not to flee? That would have made the whole situation a lot easier. Oh Jesus, that attack is terrifying. Temmie's just weird. Now that we're on the subject of characters that Toby got help with when it came to their design, I don't know if Temmie and Aaron are the only two characters where such a situation applies. Again, as mentioned in the first episode, there is an NPC, or rather a boss, that was designed by the same person behind Abba's Demon. But I'm not sure if outside of these three characters... Oh! Actually, I think Napstablook was also designed by was designed with the help of someone else. But I'm not gonna be able to tell you that right now. I wouldn't be sure. We're gonna see that in the credits. At least in the credits they fucking tell us that. So here we're soon gonna be on our way. I think I'm gonna get lost here. Yeah, I get lost. Pretty hard too. Right. So we're finally... Yeah, after this we're finally back on our way. After this huge ass detour. And I'm going to go silent again. Because this next sequence is actually pretty cool. That was a cool scene, wasn't it? The Echo Flower still works too. Yeah, I fucking love that scene. First of all, because there isn't any music, so I don't have to bother with the currently playing section. But also because, also because Undyne is being cool again. But also because it finally puts two and two together. You saw that, right? King Asgore Dreamer. That's another cool part about the introduction of characters in Undertale. The way the king is introduced just keeps spelling up this way, and it's really cool. You really wonder who he is. I mean, yeah, Papyrus and the shopkeep in Waterfall, they tell you the king is a pretty cool guy, but then there's Toriel warning you about Asgore, and finally there's Undyne pretty much dropping the ball and telling you King Dreamer and Asgore are the same person. So what the fuck what the fuck can you expect? That's the whole thrill of the mystery. And that's a thing I really like. Oh yeah, that's the shopkeep already told us about that one, didn't it? Yeah. Yeah, so that was the prophecy. The angel's gonna come, the underground's gonna go empty. Which is actually pretty well worded when I think about it. Considering you can interpret that different ways. More on the that prophecy later on, if I remember it. So here Monster Kid shows up. The little cool kid that saved our ass in the last minute. In the last second, actually. Basically, all he's going to ask you is if... yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much all he does. And he's also going to ask you if you can be... Jesus, how much time does it take, kid? Alright, fucking finally. Okay. Basically, he's going to ask you if you can be mean to him, which is, you know, pretty cute. Yeah, so you can do yes or no. Because that's what friends are for. Obviously, I say yes. Because if you can't be mean to a friend, you're not really being a friend. All the time. Do we ever see Monster Kid's sister? I don't think we ever do. Ah! Oh, Jesus! Oh, that's mean. Oh no, don't call yourself up. That turd is such a horrible word. Oh, now this next moment is fucking surreal. Monster Kid doesn't have arms. Is that fucker holding up with his mouth? Fucking teeth of steel. Oh, and basically all you really gotta do is let Monster Kid, yeah, just gotta help Monster Kid up. I like how Monster Kid and Undyne are having this exchange while he lies there staring to the side like, I don't know any of these people. Yeah, so Monster Kid is a cool kid, so he helps us. And Undyne turns the other way. So this is going to be, I'm gonna have to be straightforward with you. This is the last time we'll see Monster Kid in a while. But this is going to be the last time we see Monster Kid. The end of Waterfall is very near. There is only going to be one big thing after this and before the next big area. And well, this is the last time we'll see the little dude. Yeah, later, much later. So with that done, we finally go on forward, and I'm going to go mute again because this next sequence has to be seen to be believed now. Yes, this entire scene is not a typo. Undyne is a fucking weeb. And on that shocking revelation, this is where the episode is going to stop. On the next episode, in fact, we're going to have to... Oh, what the fuck am I doing? Oh yeah, I was going to check if Undyne was going to make a remark on me going all the way back. But with that done, this is the end of this episode. On the next one, we're going to have this boss fight with Undyne. This was Undertale, released in 2015, mostly developed by Toby Fox, and I'll see you guys later.